There we go. There we go. Good morning. Thursday, August 20th, 11 days away from September. Fall, pretty much fall. Get the live pulled up on the other channels. There we go. All right. How's everybody's Wednesday? It wasn't too bad here. Rescue wasn't too busy. Ran a pretty nondescript MVC. No major injuries. And then came back and did all the yard work because it's supposed to rain the next several days. So had to get that done. Merce Medic, good morning. Welcome in, Susie Moo. And Legal Nurse Leads Jen, thanks for stopping by. Merce Medic's coming off shift, dropping my daughter off at her first day of kindergarten. I hope you brought your tissues, man. Oh, man. I remember that day was rough. Bobby says it's beautiful in Boston. That's good. It was nice yesterday. A little hot, but otherwise. Bobby, thanks for the daily heart me. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Got the new shirts in today. This is the first of 4. Big fan of human rights. Feel like shouldn't be a political issue. We should all be fans of human rights. Let's see who was up first. Legal Nurse Leads. Jen was up first. When this song's done. Jen, are you at the gym? Getting your Stairmaster in? Yeah. There's like $8 on the TikTok shop. And Jen is indeed on the Stairmaster, getting her workout in. Now, you already have a gym lined up down in Florida, right? Brian Weiger, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. I do have jokes, and they're usually pretty bad. I make no apologies. There you go. Yeah, my gym is right here. I don't pay for a gym. I have a home gym, and then I can work out at work, and I can work out at the rescue squad to do other certain things. All right, Jen, this one's for you. Leaving tomorrow morning early, heading to go check out the house in person. Ooh, nice. So you have a lead on a house. Bobby says, I'm following from the shower in 3, 2, 1 every day. Love it. Thank you. Let's see, Bobby. I didn't see how the Red Sox do last night. Did they play? I mean, it's baseball. They play pretty much every day. They only get like 2 days off a month. Let's look up the Red Sox score. Ooh, down they go. 7-6 to the Arizona Diamondbacks. Yikes. Extra innings. Gave up 2 runs in the top of the 10th. Got 1 back in the bottom of the 10th, but could not tie the game. Red Sox are now 68-59. Still doing pretty good, over 500. That's nice. All right. I miss anybody else? Oh, sick puppies. Love the sick puppies. Ooh, 7-6. Yikes. Oh, you're under contract already. We have until 8/27 to walk away for. To buy the house. Nice. So that made it really simple then. You sold your house like in 3 days and now you've got one already lined up. Well, that makes it a lot less stressful. Coffee. So, got some news stories. My whiteboard is updated, as you can see. Ari went on your lunch break just in time. Good morning, Ari. The countdown continues. Amanda Donnell, welcome in. Nurse Ashley's in the house this morning. You'll be back shortly. We appreciate you stopping by. Come and go as you please. The door is always open. How is Amanda Donnell this morning? Even Steven, what's poppin'? We're just chilling on a Thursday morning. Got some stories up here. I don't know if you can read that. It's small. I had to use a smaller one. Yesterday was Jen's birthday, but we went live. I didn't realize it was her birthday till I saw her posts. Oh, Amanda Nell's going to work. And it was also, Dr. Tracy Tyson's birthday. Yeah, Jen likes her walk-up song on repeat. Yep, that's why she comes and goes. "I'm back. Play my song." Got, like, 5 hours last night. Oh, Nurse Ashley, thank you for the rose, I appreciate that. Yeah, 5 hours is not enough. Anything less than 6, and I'm gonna be grumpy. Be grumpy Gary for the day. And if I get more than 9, I'm usually tired, like, all day. I'm definitely gonna try and sneak in a nap. I got the yard work done, so I should be able to squeeze in a nap this afternoon before I pick up the kids from school. Amanda Donnell, thank you very much for the Daily Heart Me. I appreciate you. These people that function on, like, 4 hours of sleep, I don't know how you do it. No, I got the little kisses, thank you. See if I can catch it on the replay. Oh, I missed it. Dagnabbit. The Sick Puppies. I added 3 new songs to the playlist. Um, the band Seven Mary 3 came across my feed. They have an account. If you're a fan of their music, Cumbersome, My is another one, and Down by the Water's Edge. Kenna BC, great morning to you as well. But I added those 3 songs. Their second album, American Standard, came out in 1995, late '95, but the singles for Cumbersome, and Water's Edge weren't released until, I think, January of 1996, making those singles official release 30 years old as of earlier this year. Now, American Standard for me is one of the most underrated albums of the '90s. They came in this post-grunge era, but the lead singer, Jason Ross, his voice is so gravelly and, like, his emotional the emotions behind his singing are just they grab you. So if you've not listened to Seven Mary 3, go listen to American Standard. I like that entire album, but those 3 songs, I think they finished number 24. The highest they got was number 24, that album, number 24 on the Billboard 100. But yeah, it's a really good album. I've added those to the playlist so y'all can remember what a great song that was. Songs that they were. All right, so Ari's drinking a caramel frap for my first thing of the day. Wait, first, how many do you drink a day? I was up if you looked at my account, you saw that I posted, like, 2 or 3 times in the middle, like, at 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning, something like that. Yeah, I was up in the middle of the night. I was out by 9:30, and then I was awake at 1:30, and then I didn't go back to sleep until almost 4. I couldn't fall back asleep. 3 to 4 Starbucks drinks? Yikes, that's a lot. That's a lot of caffeine, I would think. Hopefully not, like, quad espressos in each one. Get some tachycardia going on. No, I get that they're free, but I mean, if somebody offered me free Alani's, you shouldn't be drinking like 4 of those a day. That's probably not good for your heart. All right, since I'm terrible about reminding people, I wrote it up here. So don't forget to tap, tap, like, and follow. There you go. I'll just point to these every now and then. Dana Scully, good morning. Welcome in. Chance had surgery on my fifth metatarsal. How long is the average recovery? It depends on how extensive the surgery was, and a lot of factors: age, your overall health, what kind of other medical conditions that you have. That's a conversation you should probably have with your surgery team and ask them what your recovery time will be because it's a little bit different for everybody. I'm a vet tech, but I always enjoy your content when I see it on my feed. Well, Adrian, thank you so much. I appreciate that. We have a vet school not too far from here, so we actually take our pets to the vet school here. Caramel frap is meh on caffeine, so it's not that bad. Dana Scully, thanks for the daily heart me. I appreciate that. All right, so topics of conversation today. By now, you've all. I did a post on this. I think I just reshared a post, news story, but their Ascension Health, which is in and around Nashville, had a medication error that appears to have originated in the pharmacy. I'm not sure yet. They've not officially commented on this, but I'm not sure exactly what happened. But a patient had an epidural and they were supposed to receive a different medication. I think bupivacaine was what was mentioned in the article, and they instead received potassium chloride through their epidural. And this has left them permanently paralyzed from the chest down. That's awful. This is a 72-year-old female. She wasn't the only one affected, but she was the one that apparently was affected the most adversely. And there are many questions. And of course, we don't have any answers yet, but that is just an awful situation to go in for what appeared to be a fairly routine procedure. And of course, I know we say routine, there's risks with everything, but that should not have happened. I mean, I don't care how you explain it or rationalize it, that should not happen ever. Brenda Nyman, what is that? Up to 9 instances in 1 day at this hospital. I'd read that there are 4 patients that they know of that were affected. At least that was according to the news article that I had pulled up. And let me see here. I mean, you can, if you wanna look it up, you just look up Ascension Health or 72-year-old, paralyzed. Let's see, paralyzed in Nashville. Yeah, there you go. Fox Nashville WSMV4, I think is the where I saw it. Hopefully this won't play the video automatically. Yeah. Ooh, gosh. They have a quote from a surgeon that is not associated with that hospital. Ascension St. Thomas is the hospital. This is the quote: "Infusing potassium chloride straight into the spine, you can imagine it destroying the spinal cord," which is apparently what happened. Mm, yeah, but that's just oh gosh. I can't even imagine waking up from something like that and being paralyzed. Like, what happened? Asia, good morning. Just saw that. My bad. And Gina's starting as a new grad nurse in October. That's scary. It's a spooky season, right? But congratulations. Where are you starting? What unit are you starting on? Emergency department, med surge, ICU, PCU, dialysis. Mr. Clean, welcome to the live. Yes, St. Thomas, Ascension St. Thomas is in Nashville. Yep, we covered that. Yeah, I'd be beyond pissed. Like, I just, oh gosh. I mean, it's like these people that wake up and they're supposed to have like an amputation of a limb, and then they wake up and they've had the wrong one amputated. And you think that how could that possibly happen? And it shouldn't, but we hear about it every couple of years or whatever. You see a story about that. Night shift, St. Anthony's in Lakewood, Colorado. Okay. Well, I didn't mean the specific hospital. I just meant like what kind of unit are you going to be working on? I don't want people. Oh, med surge. Gotcha. I don't want people giving out their specific locations, safety reasons and all. But yeah, that's great. Yeah, I started out on nights as well when I started in nursing, and I can't do that anymore. I'm mids now, so mids I can handle. It's not too bad. Get to sleep in a little bit. Well, not really, because I do this live stream every weekday morning. Jay Swervo. I work in New York Presbyterian. Is that one of the ones that was on strike? Oh, you're a resident. Oh, okay. So you don't get paid very much. Mo the Merce, welcome in, sir. How are you doing? Mulmers was raised on pop punk. So old. Gina's been in healthcare for 19 years. Oh, so just nursing is new to you? Are you usually at work? I do 2 refreshers, 1 frap, and 1 real good coffee per shift. All right, that's more manageable as long as the refreshers aren't jacked with caffeine. Mole's doing good. Love that. All right, what else? The Lindsay Clancy trial. Did you see what happened yesterday? What the hell happened? Where are my legal experts? Jen, I need I need explaining. The judge just abruptly dismissed the jury for the day and then said, "Hey, don't hold this against anybody, but due to unforeseen circumstances, I'm dismissing you for the day." What the heck? What's going on? I know it could be any number of things, but like now the world is like, what is happening? The conspiracy theorists are going nuts, but we don't know. At least I haven't seen any updates, so I'm not sure what's going on. Judge probably didn't feel well. I get that. I was in clinical and I got it was it wasn't the lettuce thing, but I had some serious GI issues. Like I definitely got a hold of something that my constitution didn't agree with. And I was like, I was about an hour before, and I was like literally in the bathroom like every 30 minutes. And I was like pale. I didn't look good. They were like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm not." We're gonna power through this. And then when it was time to leave the floor and go to conference, I was like, y'all are good. I gotta go. Like I am not well at all. And so I just dismissed him. We didn't do post conference that day. So yeah, I would have excused them for unforeseen circumstances. Gordon got the elf. Good morning. Good day. I guess good evening where you are. Gordon's over in Australia, about 14 hours ahead. Jonathan's a travel nurse starting a new contract in Omaha, Nebraska in 10 days. Omaha. That's where they play the college. Is that the College World Series? I believe in Omaha. But congratulations. Well, welcome to the world of travel nursing. Are you new to travel nursing or is this old hat for you? Megan Marshall, welcome in. Jen wants to know anyone watch The League Sushi Chef's episode? Omaha. No, I've not seen that. Oh, it's your 6th contract, but I'm getting tired of it. Yeah, it gets a little old after a while. I did 4 contracts and then I was Did you guys hear the videos where the mic picks up someone whispering? No, I did not. I did not see that. Omaha, Peyton Manning. That's right. Omaha. That was his like it didn't mean anything. He just did it to mess with people. Have y'all ever seen the United Way? Was it United Way commercial? Fake commercial he did for Saturday Night Live? Oh my gosh, that commercial is hilarious. Bobby wants to know, are all Alani's sweet? I don't know. I think most of them are like that, at least the ones that I've tried. Yeah. New flavor needed. I like Cosmic Stardust, but I think that's also pretty sweet. There's Voodoo Vanilla? I wanna try that one. I've not tried that one. Has anybody tried the Voodoo Vanilla? No, it's too it hasn't even gone to the jury yet. The defense just started. They're presenting their case. Gina says, "Thank you. Gotta get ready for work. I hope you have a good day." It's an elixir. It's a mixer. Voodoo Vanilla tastes like cream. Oh, then no, I don't like cream soda. Dang. It's delicious. I'm not a cream soda fan, though. That's my only thing. I'll still try it, but I would say for me, Witch's Brew is number 1, Cosmic Stardust number 2, and then probably the Orange Crush one is probably my 3rd favorite in that order. So if you guys lift heavy weights, you get in the gym and you're trying to get stronger and you need something to pump you up, I recommend this song. When I'm lifting really heavy weights and I'm struggling, I put this on repeat, like literally put it on repeat. No mercy in the squat rack. Get that shit done. All right. No fear in the comeback. That's me. I'm back at 51. I am back. I don't do pre workout, not anymore. When I was in nursing school, my buddy Thomas, he's a big guy, like strong, big guy, not like overweight big. He's lifts really heavy weights. And he gave me some pre workout. And dude, I was like a hamster on crack, man. They thought it was the most hilarious thing. I was like, I can't do that again. I will have a heart attack if I do that again. Roy Med, I don't know what that is. We'll just call you Roy. Just got accepted into med school. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. We're happy for you. Just remember to be nice to the nurses and they will take care of you. No, at that time, no. At that time, I was surrounded by nursing students who didn't know what the hell they were doing. None of us did. Nah, seriously, Roy, when you are when you're in med school and you start after like your second year, I think you start getting into your clinical rotations. You seriously make friends with the nurses and not just make friends with them and be authentic about it. But if you do something for them, like we had a med student, I've told this story before. We had a med student who used to be an ER tech before they went to college or before they went med school. She would come in during her rotation in the ER and she would like, I'll make that bed. I can take that patient to CT. I can take that patient to X-ray. And you're like, it's we can do that. And she goes, I'm not doing anything right now, and I have time, and you guys need the help, so I'll take care of it. And when she came back for her resident placement, her intern year, she was like a hero, man. We were like, "Hey, what's up? Good to have you back." And the other ones are like, "How do you know all these people?" Because she took the time to get to know us and help us out, and she returned to the ER as a conquering hero. And I work with 2 doctors right now who will take patients. If they're at the bedside and I come over or the nurse comes over and says, "Oh, do you mind if we take them to CT?" They'll be like, "Yeah, get them a wheelchair. I'll take them over." And they'll kinda go over there and sometimes they'll just sit there and wait for the imaging to come back so they can kinda get a first look at it. And those are the real docs right there. Those are the good ones. Deja Chantel, I feel like nursing school has given me an insane caffeine tolerance. I definitely used too much caffeine when I was in nursing school. I definitely was having runs of, not SVT, but, sinus tach, where my heart rate was higher than it should be, like in the 100s. My resting heart rate is typically in the 50s, and when I sleep, it's down in the 40s. So to be at rest and my heart rate my Apple Watch would go off and be like, "Your heart rate is high at rest. What are you doing?" Slamming too much caffeine. That's what I was doing, but it was the only way I could function. Absolutely, Roy. And remember to take care of yourself. Med school is going to be a grind. It's hard. I mean, you know this. You've probably been told this, but I'm telling you, I've worked with so many residents, and the burnout is real. Like the fatigue is real. So try to do your best to incorporate time for yourself. Willard Reed, 69. I'm a vet tech thinking about going to nursing school, or should I stay with the animals? I mean, it really depends on, I don't know what vet techs get paid. Nursing school certainly would afford you probably a better salary, better earning potential, but you have to deal with people. Pets are a little bit different. Now, people can bite too, that's for sure. But I guess I feel with animal, it really depends on where your heart is. If it's money, nursing is going to give you more money. Rewarding is probably both on both job career paths, but it really just depends on what your motivation is. Now I drink enough coffee to get me through a day, and I used to drink coffee in the afternoons too. I don't do that anymore. The only time I would do that is if I only had like 1 or 2 cups in the morning, and then I'm home and I can sit on the deck and have what the Germans call Kaffeeklatsch, which is a coffee and a little sweet treat. Is this a sweet treat? I thought it was a sweet treat. Ames isn't even here. Man, if she rolls in right now, that would be perfect timing. Roy, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Don't forget to tap that screen. Share out the live to people that think may be interested in this. Come on, Ames. Where you at? Hook us up. Come in with that salute right now. Here she comes. Oh, come on, Ames. Deja, we had a classmate go to the doc for labs, and her B12 was through the roof. They were worried. Come to find out, it was the Alanis. Oh, the Alanis could do that. Yeah, because there is B12 in there. So I don't know what too many Alanis is. Actually, I do. It's at least 6 and a minimum 6. There was a 16-year-old who was drinking 6 a day, and I think she died of heart related issues that was linked to the too much caffeine. I can handle 2. Like, sometimes I'll have 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, but they're not cheap, right? Like, energy drinks are not inexpensive. Too many kidney stones? I've had kidney stones, but it's been a long time. Yeah, she was drinking 6 Alanis a day. Do they cause kidney stones? Is it the caffeine? Like, mine was calcium that caused mine. Too many protein drinks. That was back in my lifting days. Smudge, why is that showing as a blocked, but I see it. It's weird. Let's see. I think it was 16-year-old dies from too many. Let's see. No. There was one in 2017. A 16-year-old consumed large Mountain Dew, McDonald's latte, and energy drink within a 2-hour span. The county coroner ruled the rapid ingestion of roughly 470 milligrams of caffeine. That's nothing for me. Triggered a fatal cardiac arrhythmia. Yikes. Let's see. Teen dies from Alani's. Got to be more specific. She was 17 in Texas. A Texas cheerleader, Larissa Nicole Rodriguez, the family filed a wrongful death lawsuit, April 26, alleging that Alani knew energy drinks caused her death. She died from an enlarged heart due to excessive caffeine. Oh my gosh! But she passed away in December of last year. But she was drinking like 6 a day, is what the article said. That's too much. That's way too much. I stick to 2 12-ounce cups of coffee a day. Rarely will I have more. All right, to each their own, but up to 5 is actually can be beneficial according to the new studies, which I like. Yeah, 6 Alanis a day, that's like 200, I mean, that's over 1,200 milligrams of caffeine because each one is about 220. Rebel Legend, thanks for sharing out the live. Oh, Go Live Vegas. I looked up the trivia thing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that one time. So they through Go Live Vegas, which is my agency, you can host um, a trivia, and I don't have to come up with questions. They already have a bank of like 1,000 questions, and it's different each time. And then I the guests and people that log into live, they go to a specific website, which will be mine. So it's a hub.golivevegas/G/Gary the ER nurse. That's my lounge, right? And then we can do questions and I can put an overlay on the screen if I use a different platform. But yeah, that's pretty cool. We'll have to try that one time, like a nighttime live when I have a night that I can do it. That would be pretty fun. And we can have, for those of us that partake, we can enjoy maybe a couple of adult beverages. Oh, Harvey Danger. Dana Scully, thanks for the donuts. I appreciate that. Mulder Merce is brewing Italian espresso now. How many people get irrationally angry when people say espresso? Just me? I saw this, story not a story, it was a post that a wife did and talking about how her husband was in denial that their son, was on the spectrum. Not like, um, inability to function, like, not really far down, but had tendencies, right? And then she starts to list all of the things that he does that he clearly he's on the spectrum, and I started watching that going, "Wait a minute. Wait a damn minute. I do that. I'm not on the spectrum." And then, like, other people are like, "Aren't you though?" I know, in denial. But I was like, "Yeah, like, I do something." Like, when your kid one of the things was, like, when your kid showed an interest in something, you suddenly devote an inordinate amount of time to learn that thing so that you can feed their interest. Even though that interest may only last a day, you will invest an inordinate amount of time learning about that subject. I collect baseball hats, and I keep them in particular groups. All my minor league hats go together. All of my major league hats go together. Lots of I have a lot of clothes, most of which I don't wear. I have, like, a certain number of sets of outfits that I wear. What do I have planned for the day? I'm running rescue today. Today I am the driver. Yesterday I was the provider. I had to chart. I hate charting. So today I just get to drive the wee woo bus. And for all you drivers out there, remember, it doesn't matter if you got light changing technology, which we call Opticon, and lights and sirens. You go through an intersection, you still need to pay attention to what's happening. Oh, so Kate, I'm glad you asked this question. It's been a while since somebody asked this thing. And I know that you have no ill intent, but one of the things that I like to educate people on that do not work in healthcare, when they ask somebody who works in healthcare, whether it's EMS or in the hospital, what's the worst thing they've seen, you have to understand that we have seen the worst things imaginable. And as an EMT, I have definitely seen the worst things imaginable, things that don't even get to the hospital because there's not much we can do. And so when you ask those questions, and again, I'm not faulting you, I'm just trying to educate. You're asking us to recall the most horrific things that we've ever seen, the things that give me PTSD. I have PTSD from some of the things that I've seen and witnessed, and I've witnessed some horrible things. So those are things that we don't typically like to talk about. So what I encourage people to ask is, what is the most what is the most amazing story that you've had in your career? What is the best outcome or the most surprising outcome? Or what is the happiest story? Those kind of things. Or the most interesting. I think that's a good one. Most interesting. Sometimes we see these really interesting cases and it's okay. Like, I'm not like, again, I don't want you to feel bad about that. But again, if you don't work in healthcare, you're not used to those kind of things, and your imagination sometimes can't process some of the things that we've seen. And so, again, no need to apologize. This is an educational opportunity, and hopefully, in the future, when you meet somebody that works in healthcare, you'll be more aware of that, and maybe you can ask like the other questions that might, like, why do you still do what you do? What makes you come back? So anyway, those are the things that I encourage people to say. Dana Scully, thank you very much for the hand hearts. I appreciate that. Asia says we got new charting technology at my hospital. Works with your phone, but does the phone have to be through their system, or can you log in securely with your personal phone? That would be my concern. And the other thing is, if I don't, I don't, I don't want to work phone. When I leave work, I just want to go home. But if you're a provider and you have charting to do, I could understand it'd be nice to have access to that. Or if you have to answer questions about a patient. Thank you, caregiver. I appreciate that. How about the most fun case that someone went to the ambulance, like to go to the hospital? I think anytime that we deliver a baby, where we deliver a baby in the field and everybody's good, like everybody's healthy, like those are fun trips because it's like you remember that as a parent. Most of us that have had kids that run rescue, we know what it's like. We know that feeling and how emotional that can be. And so when things are good and everybody's healthy, the baby's good, the mom's good, that's a fun ride. That's a emotional ride for a lot of people. What's the worst caffeinated drink you've had? Bet it's black coffee. It was last week. It was last Friday when I had to go to that that, not it was like a workshop for clinical instructors. Man, that was awful. There was no creamer. I'm like, "What are we doing here? We trying to piss people off today?" Oh, it's separate from your, personal work phone. Okay, gotcha. You got a separate work phone. Nice. It does come in handy. They were, telling us, "Hey, you can check your work email on your personal phone." I was like, "The fuck I am. Nope. When I leave work, if I can't access it, I'm not putting it on my phone. I'm not putting any work-related app on my personal phone. No, thank you." Mr. Clean says, "I had to pull some strings to have that happen." Asia, my brother just got his flight medic. That's awesome. Congratulations to your brother. He's gonna be flying the friendly skies. So I finished listening to that podcast about the life flight out of Vanderbilt that crashed last November, I believe it was. Unfortunately, the flight nurse, did not survive the crash. The pilot and the paramedic did, with pretty significant injuries. But the interview was with the medic, and the medic is the one who recognized something was wrong. So they had been dispatched for, I think, a standby. They had been in the air for like 3 minutes. They were canceled, and so the paramedic radioed to the bay, or radio to traffic control, or their air traffic control. And Ames, welcome in. I'm talking about the podcast that you sent me. You're about 10 minutes too late. We were waiting for you to come in when this song played naturally in the rotation, and we were all waiting for you to come in as she said it, and then you didn't come in. It was very disappointing. So, but at least you showed up now. Ricky, what's going on? The nurse's financial guy. For all you new nurses out there, you should go give Ricky, the nurse's financial guy, a follow. He works exclusively with nurses to help them plan for their futures. I'm good. I have one of those, but if you don't, you should go follow his content. He has some really good free advice, and of course, if you need more than that, he can work with you as well. But yeah, some great tips, especially when it comes to like overtime, and how to manage that extra money. So yeah, go give Ricky a follow. Now, in terms of the talk at work, yes, the nurses are talking about the trial. Yeah, Ames, that podcast episode was rough. The first like 40, it's a pretty long one. It's like an hour and 15 minutes, or no, might even longer than that. Might be like an hour and a half. But anyway, the first 40 minutes are kind of setting the scene, his background, the paramedic's background, and all that kind of stuff. It was on Spotify. Let me see if I can drop a link in here. Ames might have it handy, but I've got it right here. Oh, let's see. If I click on it, it should open a link. Open Spotify. There we go. And then I can copy a link, share link to episode, and then drop it in here for you guys. And then I see she dropped the information in there as well. All right. So there's the direct link that you can do. Oh, I know what they say about me. I'm not completely deaf, but I appreciate it. Thank you. So they interviewed the paramedic, who's actually got a pretty amazing background, lot of experience outside of healthcare, and that I think certainly played a role. But anyway, they get to the point where they're supposed to turn around. He radios, "We're RTB, return to base," and he usually at that point the pilot will acknowledge and turn to return to base. Nothing was happening, so he kind of like from where he's sitting, he kind of reaches up and taps him on the shoulder and be like, "Hey, are you good? Did you hear that?" And like no response. When he finally does get the pilot to look at him, he says there was nothing there. Eyes were open, but there was nobody home. Like he had no idea what was going on. He was not there. He was not present. And that's when he realized something was wrong. And he ends up unbuckling. He's up there. He's, he's letting their dispatch and air traffic control know something is wrong. I think the flight nurse was able to get something out, and he recognized they were way too high in the sky. Normally, he says they fly 2,000 or under. He said we were like 4,400 feet, and then he realized we're descending at a rate of like 4,600 feet, per minute or whatever. And he knew he had to stop that. Otherwise, they were just going to crash and there would be zero chance of survival. And apparently during this interview, he talks about how by law, flight crews, the only person that can touch the controls is the pilot. Nurses, paramedics are not allowed to touch anything, not even when the aircraft is doing nothing. So he knew he had to do something. So he reached up there and he pulled on there's this something called the cyclic and the collective. And he pulled on the one that's gonna stop them from descending. When he pulled on that, he said the aircraft groaned, like groaned, because it's so much physical stress on that. And eventually he's able to do a run on landing. Blades hit the ground, come off. He sees that his flight nurse, he says, I literally watched like the color leave their body. He felt his leg snap. He, felt his back break basically, and he's knows he's not in good shape. Uh, but I think the thing that really surprised me, and I didn't really even think about it, he was still very aware of the dangers of what was happening even after the aircraft was down. And he, as the rescuers came, and he said it was only about 5 minutes. At least he thought it was only 5 minutes. When the rescuers came, he had to tell them like, "Chill out. You got to stop. We need to shut the aircraft off and cut the fuel off. Otherwise, you could start a fire." And so he was still aware of all of that, despite all of his injuries and how bad things were. So, man, it was, oh gosh, yeah. He had to talk him how to shut off, and of course, they couldn't get into the pilot side door. I think the running board was bent up the way he described it, so they couldn't even open the door. So it was a mess. But um, he survived. He's got pretty severe injuries. He's still in rehab, but hearing him talk, if his condition allows him to, recovery allows him, I would imagine he's the kind of guy that is going to get back in that aircraft one day. I haven't heard any updates on the pilot. I don't know how the pilot's doing, so I don't know. The pilot had a medical emergency, and I'm not entirely sure. It kinda sounded like an absence seizure or a stroke. I don't know, though, but I've not actually seen what was the cause of that or if they've even released it. But it's a great story. It's not one that we hear often. Surviving a crash like that is very rare. In fact, he talks about that. He says, "Normally, they just tell us, like, hey, if your pilot's incapacitated, chances are you're just gonna die. I mean, that's just accept that fate." And that's a tough pill to swallow. And I think it was the program's first fatal accident in the history of their program, like 41 years. Now, if you have ADHD like me and an hour and a half is a lot to sit through, they talk pretty slow. So I sped it up to 1.5 and I did fine. Is there testing for Parkinson's? I believe my dad is getting it. I feel like, I mean, I can look, but I feel like Parkinson's is more by clinical presentation. But let's look it up because that's not something we do in the emergency department. Yeah, there's no single definitive lab test to confirm Parkinson's. They do it through clinical evaluation. So my intuition was correct. Now, that doesn't mean that when they have that clinical presentation, I think the physicians in most cases are going to get basic labs to make sure there are no other causes that could be contributing to this. But no, there's not a it's like concussions. There's not a scan that we can do for concussions. There's no blood test that we can do for concussions. It's just based on clinical presentation and mechanism of injury and trauma. Trauma RN, yes, that's also a thought while we are in the air. Yeah, I know, like, I've flown twice as a ride along with my local program, and as far as a nurse goes, those are 2 of the greatest days as a nurse I've ever had, and I would love to fly one day. Even hearing these stories, it's still something that I would like to do one day. I don't know if that opportunity will ever present itself, but but yeah, you think about it, even when you're flying along like this, this program's never had one of these. Maybe this is the day. Maybe I will be a footnote in a report one day, but you know what? It's a risk that you accept, but it's an opportunity I didn't wanna pass up, and I was grateful. We had wonderful pilots and great crew, so yeah. I think I probably have the same reservations about flying as, like, am I smart enough to do this? Am I smart enough to take care of these patients? I think my logical brain says I am, and my experience, I think, says I am, but there's that doubt, like, these people are insanely intelligent. They're calm under pressure, but I know they didn't all start off that way. I know they all had the same fears and trepidations when they started that career. I know I wouldn't be any different in that regard, but, I mean, I've worked with these people pretty regularly in EMS and ground transport, and I'm just like, I've run calls with them, and I don't get worked up over calls anymore. I've run lots of bad things, and I don't get like, my heart rate doesn't go up. I don't feel that adrenaline much anymore, and I know they are the same way. So I feel like I could do it, but yeah. I know, we talked about as soon as I logged in, I said I always announce the date, Thursday, August 20th. We're on the backside of August, and we'll be in September, which is basically fall. Oh, yeah, I run with, ground transport, like, my agency, we have a lot of flight nurses and paramedics, and they're interchangeable. When they fly, I mean, the only difference is the nurses get paid more. Outside of that, their scope of practice is exactly the same. Both can intubate, both can give all the meds, and they oftentimes will just kinda switch roles depending on, like, how much charting they have to do. Like, if one person's got, like, 3 charts to do and the other one only has 1, the one that only has 1 chart, they're gonna take the next flight. That's how they operate. I feel like most bases will probably be the same. Carry over GPS, I don't think I could do it. We have had 2 helicopters go down over the past 3 years in this area. Oh, yeah, and well, it also depends, like, who's running that program, and what is their safety culture like? And that's a big thing when we're in flight school. When I was in flight school, and I spent, like, a year in flight school preparing to be a flight nurse. We're very heavy on what is the safety culture. We talk about it, but do you actually practice that? It takes 1 to say no and 3 to go, meaning the paramedic, nurse, and pilot all have to agree we're gonna take this flight. If one of them says, "I don't like this, I don't wanna take this flight," that should be the end of the discussion. Flight declined. But does that really what happens? And having read into NTSB reports, which we had to do in flight school, that's not always the case, and it really depends on the program. Are they for profit? Are they getting pushback from the higher up saying, "Hey, look, you really need to take this flight," even though they've already said they don't feel comfortable taking it? And that's where bad things happen. Now, bad things can happen even when everything goes well. It's a machine that really shouldn't be in the air in the first place, mechanically speaking. Trauma RN, on transport, I take over flight scenes and let the medic take over because 'cause they're used to it. Oh, sure, that makes sense, yeah, because 'cause they're used to the scene flights, intubating, doing all that stuff, stabilizing. That's kind of their wheelhouse. I would say airway management is most cases gonna be the domain of the paramedic. They have more experience with it than flight nurses, because nurses typically can't intubate in the hospital setting, and unless they're dual certified as an RN paramedic and have run EMS where they've intubated in the field, in most cases, the paramedic's gonna do a lot of the intubation. RNs, flight nurses are certainly qualified, and they can do it. Ames, my boyfriend's helicopter crashed. He was supposed to have been on it, but skipped the flight last minute. Oh gosh, that's terrifying. Yeah, our area this is the Caregiver GPS. Yeah, our area is for profit, and it was the same company. Yeah, so I'd have reservations about flying for that particular company. Hey, Pearl. Hey, hey. Proverbs 31, my son is a combat medic airborne. Would it be easy to be a flight medic? Oh, smarty pants nurse, thanks for the hat and mustache. I appreciate that. Yeah. I don't know if it'd be easy because there's a lot of flight physiology involved. You have to understand certain gas laws, laws of physics, those kind of things. But yeah, if he's combat, like he actually has combat medic experience, like actual combat medic experience, then he should be able to get his medic, national registry medic, paramedic, and then he'll need at least 3 years experience before he can apply for a flight medic position in the civilian world. They need at least 3 years in a high volume EMS agency, not like a rural agency where you're intubating twice a year. They need you somewhere where you're running, you know, a lot of calls, like 5, 10 calls a day, and you're intubating on a regular basis. Asia, thanks for the you're awesome. I appreciate that. Hokey Gigi, thank you for the daily harmony. Dana Scully from the Go Pops. I appreciate that. He'll learn that with his airborne. He's going to do 20. He's active duty. He's going to do 20 years active duty. All right. So I don't know how far along he is, but so what I would recommend for him, this is coming from a VA nurse, when he separates from active duty, here's my advice. Now things can change. I don't know where he's at in his journey. I don't know how old he is, but if he's anywhere close, what he needs to do is as soon as he separates, don't have a job lined up. Make sure there's a gap between the time you separate and the time that you start your new job. Don't talk about your new job. Don't tell people you have a new job, especially the people that are above him. They're going to ask, they're going to push, they're going to want him to get something lined up. And I'll tell you why. Because if you have a job lined up and then you go to the VA trying to get benefits, they're going to look, oh, you have a job? Nope, sorry. Your health care is going to come from your job. And you will forever be barred from getting benefits unless you have any service connected injuries. You tore your knee jumping out of an airplane, that can still be service connected. But in terms of general health care, it's based on need, it's based on income. As of now things can change, but take your DD 214, you go like the day you separate, as soon as they hand you that DD 214, you march your ass straight down to the nearest VA, you apply for benefits. And when they say, do you have a job? You say no. And they say, do you have income? You say no. Then that should get you in. And that is what I've been told by other veterans. I have looked up the rules, and that is still as of today, the rules as it applies. So yes. Pearl, thank you for the hat of joy. I appreciate that. It always reminds me of the sorting hat. Well, I've entered twice, sent Heart Me and Meerkat with no love. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know me, I run my mouth, but now you have my full attention. And I think El Massey is amazing. Once I get talking, I'm talking. Can you interview me for your project in pharmacology? I I don't know if I'm the right person for that. I mean, pharmacology is not my wheelhouse. If it's not medicine I give in the emergency department, I don't know if I'd be the right person because I've done forgotten all those meds that I don't give on a regular basis. Not all of them, but pretty much most of them. You can go with purpose today. I was scared. Oh no, sometimes I just get to run in my mouth and I get distracted easily. And this live's gone by fast. We're already at almost an hour. Let's see if we can get to 10,000 likes. So if you're in the room, don't forget to tap that screen. Let's see if we can get to 10,000 before we jump off. I don't particularly care, but TikTok seems to like when we do that. I think the most I've ever gotten is like 50,000 in a live. I think it was a deck live. I used to do these deck lives in the afternoon. Man, those things were crazy. I'd have like 200 people in there asking questions, getting mad that I wasn't answering their questions or reading their questions. Well, I am well caffeinated, Smarty Pants Nurse. I am well caffeinated this morning, and I'm running on empty. So this is like my second wind already, and that's not good because it's only 7:30 in the morning. What's the highest D dimer? It depends because I think people may have different tests on that, but I can't think of like the highest one. There's not one that jumps out at me. There's elevated and then there's not. Now troponin 150,000 is the highest troponin I've seen. El Massey says this week flew by, but 60 in the morning next week. Yes. It was like 60 yesterday morning. It was cool and crisp, no humidity, and it felt wonderful. I'm ready for fall. Haley got the first pumpkin latte this morning, even though it's still 100 degrees in Georgia. Oh, That's right. 150,000 troponins, you're gonna have a lot of friends really quick, and a couple of them are gonna have razors. You're gonna get a shave in a lot of places. I have a patient over the weekend a dimer of 25,000? That's I know that's bad. When I had COVID, my dimer was elevated, and they were like, thought I had a PE or something. I did not. It was just that coagulopathy issues that they had. Uh-oh. What was, Veritox asking? Did I miss that? Oh, I have Lexapro beta blocker causing yeah, you need to see a doctor. We're not providers. We can't do that. You gotta see a doctor about that. The doctor that prescribed it, preferably. Asia's in New Jersey. Oh my gosh. People thought I was being dramatic till your SED rate came back as over 115. Yep. Infectious process somewhere in VQ scans. Oh, Asia, I'm in Delaware visiting fam in New Jersey. Yeah, that makes more sense. I mean, that's not that far away though, right? Delaware and Jersey are not that far apart. I don't think. Oh, it's been an hour. Got to do the puzzle piece. See if I can try not to mess this up. Yeah, first try. S- Autoimmune flare up. Ooh, yeah. You should add Danza Kuduro in the lineup. Any particular song? Oh, and, somebody I forget who it was, they recommended the Soundcore Sleep Buds. Dang, that's like $170. They better be good for 170. No, I was talking about, asking for recommendations on the earbuds that you can sleep with, but yeah, they're not cheap. Not cheap at all. Oh, the artist is Don Omar. Okay. And then the song is Danza Kuduro. Okay. I'll look it up. Songs. It's a good thing I'm left-handed. Yeah. Like, I would like to sleep with music, but not that much. I'll just keep using my AirPods because I already spent like 180 on those. No, Rescue's getting toned out already. It might be a long day. This song is a walk-up song for a minor league baseball player. It sounded good, so I added it to the live stream playlist. Better read my reminders for 170. Yeah, for real. Sarah, good morning. Sarah with an H. Welcome in. Thanks for the daily heart me. I appreciate that. Y'all almost there. 9,800. Couple more taps and we'll be there. I am. Hey, we've been talking about it. I've started building my covers only playlist that we'll do one day once I have a big enough playlist. So if you have a cover of a song that you really like or that you didn't know was a cover but found out that it was a cover, send it to me and I'll add it. We did it. Yes, Haley, 10,000. Y'all are awesome. Now, did I miss anybody? Let's see. Let's go back. Holly hasn't been in a couple days. I hope she's doing okay. Ames was here. Amanda Donnell was here. Ari was here. Bobby was here. Didn't see Justin, but that's not unusual for him. He stops by every now and then. Had Jen, legal nurse leads Jen, El Massey, Michelle from Canada is also West Coast, so it's not often we see her unless she's working. Got Mr. Clean, Megan, Moldemers. I think that's about everybody, right? And of course, Timmy. Do you ever check your request form? Yes, I did. I found them, and my plan is to email them back today. Yes, I did see them. I had 2 requests. So I think, the way the shipping is, and the cost to make it is gonna be about $15 for non-regulars. So, El Massey, yours is good, but for anybody else coming outside that wants a slim can holder with their name on it, is gonna be about $15. Shipping is like half of that. It's like $8 to ship it and about 7.50 to make it, or $7 to make it. So, anyway. Oh, that's right. My pop-up coffee shop is gonna be nearby today, so I'm gonna have to go get a coffee from them. So, I have to limit what I drink this morning. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to take a job as a tech extern in the ED versus my outpatient job. Do it. Do the ER. It's a wild ride. I think you can get a version of that on Amazon, but I don't think it comes with a custom name. Kiddos are good. They're back in school, doing just fine. Couldn't ask for better kids. I like this version. My kids heard this and they're like, "Isn't this a Taylor Swift song?" I was like, "It is. They're covering it." Trauma RN says ER for sure. Good learning experience. It is indeed. Ah, Jimmy Eat World. You've probably seen this come across your feed. At least I have. My algorithm shows me music that's old. This is like 25 years old. But they did like the reason they did this song. It was like a punk 13-year-old punk kid, not like punk bad, like punk as a genre, had sent them a letter and was being bullied by other kids in like the punk scene. And so they wrote this song for that person, which I thought was pretty cool. Simon, thanks for the treasure, Clover. Appreciate that. That's right. I'm the chauffeur. I'll be a well caffeinated chauffeur today. Haley, I'm still in school full time too. Oh gosh, I'm glad I'm done with school. Don't want to do that again. I take Zofran like every day because every time I eat, I feel, ooh, that's not good. Shouldn't feel nauseous every time you eat. That's not a good thing. Did we cover everything? I think we did. We got everything. We talked about the potassium chloride being pushed through the epidural, leaving a woman paralyzed. That was in Nashville. Ascension St. Thomas. We talked about the trial, the Clancy trial being unexpectedly suspended. Jury was sent home. We don't know why. We seem to think it's because the judge had to poop. Everybody poops. And then we wished happy birthday to Jen Hamilton and our friend Dr. Tracy Tyson, guest on the podcast, who turned 50. Welcome to the 50 Club, Dr. Tyson. I missed your whiteboard discussion on KCL. Is it part of the? Yes, I had heard 4, but apparently it's expanded to 9. So so I don't plan. No, I'm too old to go to med school. For me, I'm too old. Not in general. Yeah, but no. If we all decided to be doctors, then there'd be no nurses. How about being left-handed in medicine? I actually work with quite a few left-handed people. At one time, there was 3 of us around a patient, and the patient was also left-handed. And I was like, we can't do this. We can't all be in the same place. There's not enough of us. We gotta spread out." I said, "Too old for me. I'm 51. Even if I started today, I'd be 55 by the time I was done with med school, 58 by the time I'd be done with residency. And how long would I have to work to pay back all those loans? No. I'm comfortable. I make decent money. I'm not hurting for anything, so I'm good. Now there are people that do that, and I think that's wonderful. Good for you. I don't wanna do that. The thought of going back to school again is no, that's too much for me. Are any of the tools or training more difficult? For what? No worries. It's a question that nurses get a lot. Why didn't you wanna be a doctor? Or why when are you going to med school? Oh my god. I see, I went to nursing school at 30, started back at 38, graduated at 41. Oh, tools and training more difficult for left-handed people? Yes. Um, Scissors. People don't think about it, but left-handed people can't have to learn how to use scissors right-handed or buy left-handed scissors, and yes, they do make left-handed scissors. Decks of playing cards are also designed for right-handed people, and you say, "What are you talking about?" The way we spread them out, they're meant for right-handed people so you can see the number or the letter in one particular corner. Left-handed people, when we spread them out, the corner exposed is blank. So we have to do it upside down and then flip it over. Butter knives are all right-handed. You can find left-handed butter knives, but most of the time, like actual butter knives, not the straight ones, the actual butter knives. And then when we write left to right, it smudges. And that's why you'll see a lot of left-handed people write like this, so they don't smudge it. Starting IVs, I can do either. I ambidextrous. Mulder Murs went to nursing school at 42. Nice. My husband is 53. I just turned 28. Wow. Wait, like legit 28 or like 28 again? Yeah, not 1938, age 38. I look good for my if I was born in 38, I look really good. Legit 20. Okay, well, to each their own. Who am I to judge? All right, El Massey, see you in the morning. Have a great day. I'm getting ready to sign off here too. I got to get out of here. Got to get the kids off to school. I got my pop-up coffee shop reminder so I don't miss out today because they don't come by here very often. So it's only like once or twice a month. So I've got to make sure I take advantage of it while they're still here. Caregiver GPS, have a good day as well. Thank you for stopping by. Asia, it was good to see you again. Thanks for spending some time with us. Thanks for helping us get to 10,000, now 11,300 likes. I appreciate that. As always, be kind to others, be kind to yourself, prioritize your mental health. I'm Gary, the ER nurse. We live stream each and every weekday morning right here on TikTok Live. Y'all have a wonderful day. Be safe, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.